Okay, second question. What's your definition of being successful?
Okay, so my definition of success, as we previously mentioned, was all about how much money I made and being the boss. My definition of success now is completely different. My definition of success now is more about the difference that I'm making for other people and for my family. So, to me, being successful, I don't work the way that I used to work. 7 days a week, 14, 16, 18-hour days. I don't work like that anymore. I try to work about 4 days a week. I have a son who's in elementary school. I like to be around to be the person that picks him up from school in the afternoons, and I definitely want to be the kind of parent who is at baseball games. And to me, that's successful. I'm able to juggle a business that's growing and that is supporting my family while also investing in my son and investing in my community.
If you were to start your career again from the beginning, would you go through the path to run your own business? And what do you think you learned the most from that?
Okay, I absolutely think that I was supposed to start a business, and I don't regret anything that happened. I don't. It was awful, and I would not want to go through it again. But if I had to redo my life, I would need to go through those things again. I would need to learn those lessons, because you guys, this guy stole millions of dollars from me, granted. But in return, he gave me this incredible, incredible gift that I wasn't willing to give myself. He made me have to redo my life. He made me have to start my life from scratch. And I wasn't willing to do that. My life is awesome now. I love it. But I didn't love it before. So I absolutely would do it all again.
Okay. What is the most comforting thing you heard when you faced failure?
No judging here. The most comforting thing I heard was probably not comforting to most people, but it was actually just, chin up, buttercup, you got this. And it came from my best friend, actually. She knows how I think and what really gets to me, and I'm not the kind of person that needs to be hugged and cuddled. I'm the kind of person that's like, all right, I know you got this. And so that's what she said to me.
So the next question is, did you ever feel as if you wanted to give up?
Oh, for sure. So during the speech, I mentioned there was a few weeks there where I may or may not have been in the same pair of pajamas for 2 or 3 weeks straight. And yeah, I really wanted to give up, but that competitive side of me eventually kicked in and said, this guy cannot beat you. This guy is not going to ruin your life. You've got too much to offer.
Did they ever catch the man who actually stole the money? And what would you say to him today?
So, the man who stole the money, okay, here comes the plot twist. The man who stole the money was actually my husband's best friend. Yes. So I know him very well. I have been to his kids' birthday parties. Yes. So I don't speak to him now, except through attorneys. So yes, they are very aware of who did it. Unfortunately, his company was, and this is where it gets complicated, his company was a vendor to my company. So his company sold things to my company. And so we had a contract, and because it was a contract, it became a civil lawsuit instead of criminal. So Yes. Yes. We have settled legally as of last December. So 5 years later, we settled.
Next question is, where do you think you would be in your life if he had never stolen that amount of money from you?
Wow, I have literally never been asked that question before. Who did that question? I'm just curious. Oh, thank you. Okay, all right, read it to me again. Let's talk.
Okay. Where do you think he would be in your life if he had never stolen the money and all of those things had never happened?
You know, I would like to think that I would have been strong enough to make those changes that I needed to make. I was unhappy. I was miserable. But I was scared to give up all the money I was making. So I'd like to think that I was strong enough to make those changes, but I don't know that I would have. If this big catastrophe in my life, if my life had not imploded or exploded, I don't know that I would have made the change, to be completely frank. No.
Thank you. So let's give one final round of applause for, again, an inspiring story.
Thank you guys.
Next up, we have a guest speaker. Mr. Jalen is a businessman with his own construction company. He is also a husband and a father. Today, he will be speaking about the importance of becoming prominent leaders within our communities. Without further ado, let's welcome Jalen.
Well, thank you very much. Coming here yesterday, I actually looked up the definition of leadership. Leadership is a process of social influence in which a person who can enlist and support of others to achieve a common goal. And at 3:30 this afternoon, before our speaker started, I think our high school team have achieved just that. And I just want to say congratulations. A little bit about myself. My name is Jalen, and I'm running for the City Council Post 2 in the city of Johns Creek. How many of you are from Johns Creek area? Awesome, that's great. I'm a little biased, but I want to tell you some factual things in Johns Creek. Johns Creek last year has been voted the top 10 city to live by USA Today. And also we're the second safest city in the state of Georgia. And I love the city, and I also want to tell you why I'm running for city council. About 6 months ago, that a group of friends and we supported, actually last year, a little bit more than 6 months ago, our current 10th district Congressman Jody Heiss. Through the process, that I've come to a realization that in order for us to have a voice in the decisions that the government is making, we must have a good representation, and we must participate. And earlier this year, that we also supported our former city council, Brad Raffensperger, to run for the House Representative. And I just want to tell you, for some of you might be very much aware of what has happened. During the primary, he received a lower vote than his competitor. But during the runoff, in the last 2-3 weeks of before the election date, that he actively participated in reaching out to the Asian community. And through that process, a group of friends also mobilized and helped him to solicit votes within our Asian community. And what the end result is, he's got 200 votes more than his opponent. And I just want to let you guys know, even though that 180, 200 votes are not that many votes, you know, if you look at the grand scheme of things, but it's historical. The reason why that is historical, because that 180 votes, it was the very first time in the state of Georgia that Asian voters have actually altered the outcome of the election. And it's huge. And I was compelled to run for city council for one of the major reasons. Back when I was in 40, about 10 years ago, a friend of mine gave me a book. It's called Halftime. And that book, one of what this book was talking about is to change from our life goal, from success to significance. As what Amanda has talked about, success is actually a moving target. If we ask all of you today, try to define a success, I think we might get quite some different answers from different individuals. And so I want to say, instead of achieving success as a leader, let's go after the significance. And what is significance? You know, I love the book written by John Maxwell, who's a leadership guru. And what he's talked about, the leadership, is to maximize our full potential and to benefit others. If you're doing real good in school, if you become a doctor or having a good job, a great IT guy, one of those smart guys that I always admired when I was in school, you might be able to touch 50, 100 people, but I want to encourage you today. I know most of the Asian parents will not encourage their children to participate in the political process. But I want to say this to the parents or the people who are 40 years old or older. I want to say you are the hope for our next generation. But I also want to say to those who are 20 or under, you are the future. And we have that responsibility to maximize our full potential to benefit others. And I know that our youth team have really put all of their effort into making this event and also to assist in my campaign. I just like to have all the campaign team volunteers to stand right now. Are they outside? Most of them inside? Okay, that's all right. I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart, because this is what the leadership is all about. This is what is going to make a difference